How's it hanging, folks? We are back for episode 2 in the Out of the Park Baseball 22 Pittsburgh Pirates playthrough. Left last episode saying we're going to start the season off. Well, I got a little ahead of myself and just simmed a couple games. We will talk about players that we're scouting. We'll talk about players that we're trading, and then we'll sim a couple games while we're together too. First thing I think you all can probably notice from the screen cap I have up here, Pittsburgh Pirates sitting one game out of first and right behind the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't know if anyone necessarily predicted that this year, but the thing that I think is wild is this is what the coaching change does. So I'm going to reiterate, when you get your new team or franchise and you're going through your own personal playthrough, change the coaches, make sure they align with not only your strategy in terms of, are they teaching patience, are they teaching power hitting, contact, same with pitchers, what's the development like? Because if you remember, I'll go to the front office here, and we made I think it was like 6 or 7 personnel decisions, and you'll see we hired Mike Sosha, John Farrell. We also changed our scouting director and team trainer, and it's paid off at the major league level significantly. I don't think the Buccos would be one game out of first without it. I mean, you look at the pitching staff, in terms of starters ERA, runs against, bullpen ERA, all pretty good. Pretty good offense, even though it's lagging a little bit. Still putting up enough runs. Just some key contributors. I mean, first, how do you talk about the Pirates and not lead off with Brian Hayes? He won NL Rookie of the Month, I think, for April. We're in May. We're 17 and 15. We're halfway through May, and I think he won the award in April. He's 4 home runs, 22 RBI. If we zone in on him a little bit closer, 35 strikeouts, 16 bases on balls, 4 triples already this year. That's a pretty wild pace. I mean, that's double-digit pace right there. And you'll see his OPS is 861, and his OPS plus is 130. So he's producing like 30% more than an average player in Major League Baseball. So he's off to a great year. And I was thinking, I don't know what your thoughts are here. I was thinking of pulling the trigger on this, of offering him an extension. Because look, I mean, this guy, whether it is OSA or whether it's our head scout, super high on him. Great at the plate, maybe lacking a little bit in power, but you can't have everything. Good in terms of good base running ability. Great Gold Glove capability in the field, and whether it's the OSA or whether it's our head scout, both very high on him. And then if you look at his actual ratings, he just absolutely crushes against lefty pitching, but he crushes righty almost just as much. So I think he's a line drive hitter, which is ideal in today's game of baseball. I just don't see a way he doesn't excel, and I've been thinking about buying out, offering him an extension now. Because I went there just to look at it. I went down here to offer a contract extension, and we could come to agreement right now. 8-year major league contract with an average salary of $9 million, totaling $75 million. I feel like you have to do that. That's going to be such a low annual salary. I mean, granted, in the last few years it kicks up to 13, but even that's still less than the options. $15 million option contract at the end of arbitration. And I feel like if we let this go, 3 years, and then we start trying to sign him to a extension, it's going to be in the $100 millions. I feel like this is a good thing to do. It doesn't really affect the money left for extensions now. I mean, it may in the future, but I think getting him signed early will be helpful for us. So I know that might be a little bit of a silly thing to do. I don't think so, though. I usually like to go through the arbitration, but then I also hate dealing with it, too. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and meet that demand for Hayes right off the bat. I think he's going to be generational talent. And if he's not, I think this will give some additional flexibility in the future to us. And, I mean, if he's a dud or doesn't pan out, not a terrible contract to trade. I think this is a good opportunity. So we're going to meet demand, so he'll think about it, and then I'm assuming he's going to sign it, and then we'll come back to that. So offered Brian Hayes not a really massive extension, a large extension based on what he's earning now, buying out his arbitration years. And then going from there. So we'll have, if he signs this, we'd have him through his 32 season, which at that point is a good way to kind of part ways. So let's look at the rest of the lineup here that we have through the first month and a half of the season. If we measure by WAR, a couple people were doing things for him. Obviously, Brian Hayes and Adam Frazier. I was thinking of really moving on from Frazier, but I think we're going to hold off. I mean, his OPS is strong. I feel like we're going to trade him this year, but because he's playing so well, I'm going to hold off till later in the summer until either this run, this run that may be sustainable, unsustainable, kind of collapses, or we just get to the trade deadline and then it's time to move. So, it's so unprofessional of me having my phone go off. Jacob Stallings kind of playing a little bit above his head right now, hitting .308 and giving a half win of WAR. Wild. And then Anthony Alford, I've been really disappointed with him, at least in games I've simmed. I think I might replace him with Dustin Fowler. But again, there's just not a lot of depth here. Gregory Polanco, not really. I mean, his BABIP has been terrible, so I'm going to expect some positive regression there. But, this is kind of the Polanco that we've seen the last few years. And, at what point is enough, especially when he's earning $11 million? I know on other teams that is nothing, but on the Pirates, that's huge. So at what point is enough with Polanco? Again, not going to trade him. I'm not selling low on him, but I expect to be a little bit of a bump. But we see if that BABIP crosses back up to 270, 280, and his average is still low, then it's time to move on. And for those of you who don't know, BABIP is batting average on balls in play, so it really shows if you're getting lucky or not. Average is about hitting 300. So every 3 out of every 10 balls you hit in play goes for a hit or gets you on base. So if you have a really high BABIP, like 400, that means you've probably got a little bit lucky with some balls falling through, finding gaps, whatever. And if it's a low BABIP, that means you've gotten unlucky. You've put a lot in play, but you're just not getting the bounces. You're not finding the holes. So right here it shows, Polanco's BABIP is comically low. So I'm expecting, even if he gets up to 280, this average, his OPS should increase and turn into like a league average player. Despite that, he's still putting up positive WAR. So, again, there's still room to be optimistic about Polanco, but at what point is enough? Brian Reynolds, just the standard, I shouldn't say standard, the substandard Brian Reynolds season continues from last year onto this year, which is sad because I love the guy in real life. But in terms of his personality and everything. So we'll see what happens there. Brian Reynolds is certainly, in my opinion, a trade candidate because if he continues the next few months, doesn't hit really well, isn't providing, that contact that he was early on in his career, I should say his first season, I might move him. I was looking at a couple trades here, and we'll get to that in a second. But before that, I want to transition into the trade idea with reviewing our pitching. Now, I think the coaching changes have really helped our pitching, to be quite fair, because this rotation should not be, pitching this well. Like Steven Brault, 2-1 with a 2.51 ERA. JT Brubaker holding down the fort is a number one option. Is just a little unsustainable in my opinion. But if you look at K every 9 innings, Tyler Anderson looks good. The bullpen is obviously crushing. But in terms of walks, none of the starters are really giving up too many walks. Mitch Keller, he had his first outing of the season that I simmed. He had a ton of walks, so this has ballooned up, but it really shouldn't be that high. It should, really be like the 3-2 area. And I mean, so we're getting good pitching. But you look at the starting rotation here. You look at the bullpen. Not even just for this year, but for upcoming years, there needs to be more talent, more options even. Because I think the first game Trevor Cahill pitched, he got hurt, so we had to bring up James Marvell. I'm still not sure how you pronounce that. But so I did a couple things here looking to improve our pitching depth and our high-end skill. So I'm going to go to transactions, and I'll go to shop a player here. There are a couple teams that I was actually surprised by. I was shopping Brian Reynolds, I was shopping Adam Frazier, and we'll just shop Adam Frazier so I get to that same point. That I was surprised that these teams made these players available, or at least showed enough interest where I thought, okay, well, let me click in here and see if we can get a deal done. The first of which, let's scroll down here. Let's see. The Detroit Tigers, offering Matthew Boyd, Spencer Turnbull. I could get one of their, I can't remember, one of the new starting pitcher, not Mize, not Manning, the other one starts. I could get him, but I would have to put in quite a bit, but I'm not going to. But I'm surprised I even made him available. So if I scroll down, Salvador Perez, 5 years left at $13 million. I'm not going to take that contract on, but that's still, I thought, wild they'd make him available for Adam Frazier. And then if I keep scrolling down here, we'll go to our first one we're going to stop at here is the New York Yankees. I'm looking at, I would like to get, I don't know if anyone remembers from the last playthrough, Clark Schmidt was one of the first players I acquired. His ratings have taken a hit this year, but Domingo German, we all know what happened off the field, which I think makes this even personality thing a little bit more problematic than it already is. Mild manner on and off the field. If just come back from his domestic violence suspension. So, that's one thing there. But controllable contract. If you look at his stuff, whether it is from OSA or from our scout, he has good stuff. Maybe lacking a little bit of movement, but you look so far this year, and granted, he's in their AAA program, still 9 Ks, or 9 Ks per 9 innings, 1.3 base on balls. I think he has the upside. 28 years old, so he's not, he's just entering kind of the prime of his career. But I think this would be a good buy low candidate. So obviously I don't want to trade Adam Frazier for him, but we're going to come back. So we have, I can't even believe they put Miguel Andujar up available to him as well. So, but I'm not going to trade for him because he can only play third base and not really that well. And Brian Hayes is going to lock that down, hopefully for the next 8 years for us. So if I keep scrolling down here, a couple other, the Phillies being interested, and again, Vince Velasquez is going to be no one's, ace. But just throwing these names out there, I know because they have maybe unfavorable contracts, but just a couple people that I thought was really interested that they offered here. One of the people that I'd like to go out and try to acquire would be Isaiah Kiner Falefa, which is high. I don't know. I've only seen him. He was only on my fantasy team last year. I actually haven't had to pronounce his name, but he's someone that I'm not going to trade Frazier for, but I would like to go out and grab. He can play a bunch of different positions: shortstop, third base, catcher, second base, and can do it all. You're not going to get home runs with him, but he can really, really do it all. He's a Gold Glove caliber player. So I would like to come and grab him for something as well. But yeah, just I'm not that high on Adam Frazier. Again, I'm not going to trade Frazier for any of these players because I still want to keep him around. But I do want to go after Domingo German here. So we're going to remove him, and we're just going to see what does it take to actually get Domingo. I've actually not looked at this, so you and I are looking at this the first time. No JT Brubaker. Phil Evans, we'll come back to that. Frazier, no. Gonzalez, no way, get out of here. Hayes, yeah, okay. Keller, I don't like Keller, but not going to trade him. Newman, no. Priester, no way. Reynolds, no. And then Tanaj Thomas, no way there. Although he's starting to lose, the shine off his prospect status, so he could be available, could make him available later in the year. But Phil Evans kind of interests me because as I'm looking at him, I noticed here, I'll click on him. What position does he play? Plays third base. Could play him at first, I guess. Poor first baseman. Play him at second, I guess. I don't like that. Third base is his best position, but again, Hayes is there. And it's good to have organizational depth, I agree. But is this someone that we want to have around? I feel like we can make other things happen with someone else in our farm system here. So we're gonna go down here to. We're just gonna see if we can maybe throw prospects to the Yankees and get German without giving up very much, or some maybe a couple low end prospects. So so we're on what our scout is looking at, which is what I try to average with the scout and what OSA says on some of these players, just to make sure I'm not giving anyone up that I'm missing. But let's see, who could be someone that is wouldn't be necessarily a blow to give up here. Lolo Sanchez, he's been in our system for quite a while, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2016. So that's 5 years. Good speed. Can't do really much with the bat. Okay, we want to keep him around. I just want to see if we can throw. Oh, you know what? Let's just test it out. Let's put Lolo in there. Okay, so look, even Lolo Sanchez gets us even to the submit button. So that's how you judge. That's how I judge trades. Submit off. If submit offer comes up, that means you're close. That means if you have the patience, which I do not, you could submit the offer. They mull it over. Brian Cashman here in this instance comes back and says, well, here, offer us this person instead. And sometimes you get them to accept it. Complete trade means you can do it right now. So even the fact that just putting Lolo Sanchez in there gets us to submit offer means we might be able to avoid even giving up Phil Evans. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so they're still going to want Phil Evans. So they don't really think that highly of Lolo Sanchez. Let's go Jared Oliva. Again, I just want to see if we can. Okay, so they put another name in there, Carmen Mlodzinski. I probably butchered that name too. I read all these, and you probably noticed it last year too. I read all these names all the time, but I never have to pronounce them until I get in here. And the first time I see them, I'm like, oh, jeez. I just want to see if we can get to a point where we're just giving up a couple low-end prospects. No, it looks like they're Brendan Malone. Just got him in a trade this offseason. Okay, I'm just going to go down here and see if we can just throw in a couple no-namers. And again, not meaning I'm going to take this right away, but let's make this work now. Okay, so not much changes. It's another piece that I believe the Pirates got this year in the tie-in trade. Oh yeah, look, 2020 played for the Yankees in his little profile. So, okay, so I'm thinking we move Phillip Evans. Again, this goes along with the idea, and this is your first video watching. These rebuild videos, there's 1,000 of them on YouTube. I'm not going to spend 4 years accumulating prospects to then try to win the World Series. I'm going to shrewdly acquire talent that I believe can move the needle and win us games as soon as possible, and make changes with the present in mind. Because, owe it to you, the viewer, owe it to myself who's making these, and owe it to, if I were Bob Nutting, I owe it to the fans to compete every year. So let's see if we can get, since they want Phil Evans, or they would take it happily for Domingo German, let's see if we can get anyone else too. I doubt we get Jason Dominguez, who is who is the Yankees. Maybe their top prospect at this point in their farm system. I'm not sure in real life. But I would like to see if we could get. I know Estevan Florial is also high in their real life prospect list, I believe. Let's see. Plays right field. Not particularly well. Does have a good arm. Does have speed. What is his size? How tall is he here? 6'1". Okay, let's see batting ratings. Or let's go to batting ratings here. Not a great hitter, particularly against left-handed hitters either. So, 23 high A. That's not trending in the right direction. So we're going to remove him. But it gets us close there to submit offer. Let's see what about Clark Schmidt? If anyone watches this, I have a soft spot for Schmidt, softy for Schmidt. That doesn't sound disregard what I just said there. Puts in long hours. Okay, that's good. Let's see, scouting. Schmidt's probably 4 or 5 starter when he develops. Ratings here. Does better against right-handed batters than lefties. Let's see what it would take to get. Well, actually, before that, let's remove him and try for Trevor Stephan here. I didn't mean to click that, but I can just tell I'm not going to do it based on who they want me to add in. So we're going to go to Clark Schmidt. We're going to go back to Clark Schmidt. And let's see if we can just get another low-end prospect. Yeah, see, nothing. Let me see if I can just maybe jack this up here with a couple prospects, if that gets them closer. No, not really. All right, so we are going to trade Phil Evans straight up for Domingo German. Again, I feel like we have the depth to offset this trade here. Yeah, I mean, if he's only going to play third base well, he's just not going to play. You're not going to get playing time. It's a bottleneck, so might as well deal from a position of strength. But before we make this trade, again, this is what you need to do when you're making trades is seeing all the options you have. So I know that I can get Domingo German right for him, and that surprises me because I didn't think people would want him or like that would be acceptable because we have. I don't know, just not an elite player. Not that German isn't, but he has high upside. So we're gonna just go and he's an older, non-major league prospect. So we're gonna shop Evans, and we're gonna see if we can get anything better than that. I doubt it. I would be actually very surprised if we do. Some of the names that are populating here in the top left, I do recognize, but none that I'm thinking right away. Oh yeah, let's go get that. Oh, AJ. Puke there. Let's see. Let's go down the teams here. Anything? Christian Walker? But again, 30 years old. Yeah, late bloomer. He's on a couple of my fantasy teams this year. Really looking for pitching, though. I had Reynaldo last year, and he has issues with walks, and it looks like he does as well. So we're going to back out of that. Despise walks. If any of you remember last year, I despise walks. Quantrill. No, I just butchered that name. Oh, someone else that I thought was interesting. They offered the Padres offered Blake Snell for I believe Brian Reynolds. They made Chris Paddock you could get for Adam Frazier, which I actually made go back there and look at doing that deal now. Marlins, yeah, they're not offering anybody. I do want to see what kind of status they have or what kind of price they have for their stud pitchers, which Sixto, Sanchez, or Pablo Lopez. Yeah, see, we're not going to get Sixto. What about Pablo here? Back up. I have assorted Marlins players on my fantasy team. Yeah, no chance. That's not happening there. JT Brubaker, though, I might not mind giving up. Yeah, see, no chance. They're not parting with any of their stars. Bleday, if you remember from last year, he was one of our. We could get JJ Bleday if we wanted to. He's one of the stars in our off season. This might not be a bad trade here. We're gonna come back to look for Bleday. Yeah, we're gonna come back. I'm surprised the Marlins are willing to give him up there. All right, we're gonna come back to Bleday. What about Jazz Chisholm here? What are their thoughts on him? Looks like a lot higher than Bleday. That's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna back out, and then actually when we're here, we're gonna look at the Padres and just see the Blake Snell. He's having look. I could get Brian Reynolds and Adam Frazier over here on the left hand side, but I could get Blake Snell close for Adam Frazier straight up, which is really quite surprising. That's a desirable contract, not a bad contract, but he's having a horrid year for them. ERA plus of only 59, his ERA of over 7. So he's 0-6 this season. It's just a completely terrible year. Let's see, Blake Snell back out. Where is Paddock? I think he's still considered a prospect here. We'll find out shortly. No, he's not. Okay. Let's see. Is he AAA? Yes, okay. So AAA, Luis Campusano. Nope. Okay, Paddock. I think I need to include, I'm almost positive I need to include Reynolds in here, or I could include Reynolds. There's a way they were giving up. There's a way that they were giving up Paddock, and I can't remember how we got there. But anyway, so I believe I had to maybe withhold 50% of Frazier's salary or something like that. Okay, so looks like we're just going to go back to the initiating a trade. We're going to go to the Yankees, and we're going to acquire Domingo German for Phillip Evans straight up. We're going to complete that trade. Okay, great. So now let's go back to our roster and transactions here. Let's make sure we have everybody. Let's see, waivers. Make sure. Okay, he's on our active roster, I'm hoping, right away. Maybe not there. Gonna have to find him here. Maybe AAA. Might have to sim a day for him to get there. But okay, so let's go back now and look at JJ Bleday, because if you're looking at our lineup here, if you look at our current right fielder, Mr. Gregory Polanco, not doing much, and if we can provide a piece that's a little bit maybe more effective than a Brian Goodwin that has a little bit younger, more runway ahead of him, I think that could be great for the Buccos. So let's go back to transactions, and I hope that you guys like trading, because that's what it looks like we're spending some time. That's what it's turned into. So you're gonna hear my creaky chair behind me now. So let's look at Bleday. I'm actually just very surprised they offered him up. Okay, well now when we look at it like this, they won't take anyone for him. So let's go to our prospects. Who's like an equivalent prospect to Phil Evans? Let's see, third baseman. Let's see, Cole Tucker, still young. No respect for him in this game. Yeah, okay, wow. It looks like they were Phil Evans or bust, essentially. Alamaze. Nope. All right, well, maybe I should have thought about that one before I pulled the trigger on German. Let's look at prospects, not just AAA. Let's look at who's our high-end prospects here. Let's go with OSA. What does OSA think? Yeah, no way Nick Gonzalez. Let's just see. What's this look like here? No. But what if we build on that, though? What if we build on that? Cal Mitchell. Okay, we're getting close. Who else would? Just trying to pick guys who've been in the system for a while that are probably not going anywhere. Yeah, I don't want to give up JT Brubaker. But the fact that we do have Armand coming in does give us a little bit more flexibility. Yeah, see, I don't know. This is all too much, I feel like, for Bleday. Oh, Brubaker, though. Yeah, I want to keep him around. What about Olivo? My guy, Jared Olivo here. I just saw him. I just scrolled past him here. Yep, there he goes. Tantalizing offer. We'll need more, though, according to Kim. All right, so this looks like he's interested in Olivo a little bit. We might be able to go down this path here. Escado, 18 years old. I don't know. What are we thinking here, guys? Lean and athletic. Hails from Boca Chica, Dominican Republic. Generates excellent raw power with his bat speed. He should have a patient approach to the plate and will take a walk if he's get a pitch he likes. He provides average defensive value, reliable hitter in the organization's grand scheme. Okay. Well, let's go back here. I don't want to give up that. I mean, I can complete that trade right now, but that's too much. Yeah, Charrington even says I cannot endorse this proposal. Agreed. Okay, not the best deal from where I sit. Could complete this right now. Let's see. Could I get what's Oliva at in his career? 25. That could be a valuable piece that they're getting from us. I wouldn't want to give up Cal Mitchell and Oliva. Let's see. This will probably torpedo it. No, we're close. We're close. Let's see what do we have to throw in? See, okay, we have a couple low end guys we could throw in here. Okay, let's see if we can get out of giving up Max Kranick. Let's see what we have to throw in to get him. All right, we're on the step here of getting him. Michael Escado, is he going to turn out better than what we thought? But again, he's 18 years old. Bleday is a now I was going to say a known quantity. He's really not a known quantity, but he is number 33rd ranked prospect, rep in Titusville, T Vegas as they say, and could provide a platoon. Well, not even a platoon, but just overtake Polanco. Hits well against righties. Decent stuff against lefties as well. I like Bleday, and I know personally that he's a decent guy. Not that really matters in a simulation like this, but let's see what we can get away with here. Anyone particularly old who has prospect status that we can just kind of get over here. Eddie Yean, I believe he was a return in one of the trades this offseason for the Pirates. We don't want to have to give up a pitcher. We're close. We are so close. Hang with me, guys. We're about to, I think, get JJ Bleday as well. See if we just throw in some random schlub here. That improves anything. It does not. Hudson Head. That was a trade. I can't remember which trade that was. Was that the Yankees too? Who was that? I can't remember who got that this year, or who the Pirates got him. I almost said we as if I played for him. Who the Pirates got him from? Andy Rodriguez. That was also, he was the Mets trade, I believe. He was like the thrown from the Mets, three-way trade with, oh God, why am I blanking on all these off-season moves the Buccos made? Blanking on everybody. But they got like, was it, no, it wasn't Musgrove. Musgrove, I think, was Hudson Head. But the Pirates got like 4 players for giving up someone who wasn't really that great. But anyways, regardless. So we'll look at Andy Rodriguez, 20 years old, playing high A ball, hasn't particularly hit well, really ever outside of his one rookie. Yeah, okay, Mets. Yeah, we did get him from the Mets. Pirates got him from the Mets. I mean, having a dismal year at the plate. But again, only 18 at-bats. Let's give him some more time. Yeah, see, we have a high scouting accuracy on him, and I don't think he's going to turn into much. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to include Andy Rodriguez and we're going to get JJ Bleday back, which I think in real life, if this were if Ben Cherington called up Kim, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but I believe she's the first female GM, I believe, calls her up and says, hey, I'll give you Andy Rodriguez, Mike Wascato, and Jared Oliva for JJ Bleday. I think Marlins laugh and hang up. I don't think they make this deal whatsoever. So I think we get the benefit here. So we're going to go ahead and complete that trade. Okay, great. So now let's go to our transactions here. Or not our transactions, I'm sorry, our team. Rosters and transactions. Let's see what we got. I'm really trying to find both the players I traded for here. What the heck? What the hell? Like that meme. Or that Vine or TikTok or whatever it is. What the hell? I don't know. All right, so we're just going to sim a day, and hopefully that gets everyone back to where they're supposed to be there. Okay, we received the personal message. Oh, our scouts. That's the one thing we haven't done. Been scouting like crazy. Dossier on Jack Leiter. I am very high. Scouting accuracy very high here. OSA doesn't know Jack. Solid starter at the back end of the rotation. I don't know. In real life, he's friggin' dominant as all get out. But we'll look at that here in a second. I just want to go back, make sure that all of our players are where they're supposed to be. I'm not seeing anyone here. Did I not set that up where I don't deal with the... Let's see here. Manager's office, manager options... Okay, yeah, here we go. Promotions, demotions. Ben, you can take care of that. No. Yeah, Ben, to set the ticket prices, sign international amateurs, you can do that. I'll, worry about firing team personnel. You can assign, Sosha can assign instructor roles here. Okay, so I think we're good now. So now if I go back, hopefully we sim a day. We'll have everyone where they're supposed to be. So, let's go back. Lineups. Yep, okay, there's Bleday. So now let's go ahead and just set these lineups up. Wow, they still have Polanco and Wright. And they're having Bleday off the bench. So we'll keep it like that. We'll see Polanco, his Must have had a couple hits. His average is up over 200 now. His OPS plus is 98. So we'll keep him like that. But we do have Bleday there in the rear. And then let's also set our bullpen and our staff. So yeah, we got German. This will be his first game to go. Interested to see how that turns out. So right now, Bucco's a game and a half back out from the Brewers with 2 sims. One was a 7-3 win. The other one was a 3-2 loss. So I'm interested to see how things pan out here. I think those are 2 shrewd moves that we just had. So lastly, what I want to spend some time on before I end this video today, or at least we'll sim the German game. But let's see the rookie draft. Let's see the player pool here. Draft pool, and very high Jack Leiter. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to take with my first pick. But you know what? We're already 40 minutes into this, so I'm gonna just hang it up, pause it. We'll come back. We will start with this, and then we'll sim that game as well. But yeah, so big news today: acquired JJ Bleday, acquired Domingo German, and the Pirates are sitting a game and a half out of first place, right behind the Brewers. Surprisingly. So thanks for joining us. I will talk to you in the next video.